everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers come into today's game looking for a way to pick up win number 10 on the season. It's the Bengals going up against the Steelers.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and got his man complete. They give him a gain of 37.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. Room here to run. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Newton on first down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And the return will stop right around the 25. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And taken at the 46. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number one in their conference.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. Room to run inside the 40, and that's complete to Jesse James. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense, and what a big-time play there.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They go again with Muhammad. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run here with Mixon. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
And he motions the wide receiver. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And able to find Green. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the D-line's going to spread out. Now Mixon. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Now it's Roethlisberger. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Justin Houston in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on fourth down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And now out come the Steelers. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll run with Muhammad. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's Muhammad. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive lineman and control him. And what I love about the good defensive tackle, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To throw on 3rd down, Newton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. To go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. On the carry, it's Muhammad. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. And the seemingly endless drive continues. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Newton takes it himself. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
They're not going to kick it. A chip shot, but they're going for it down 3 on 4th down. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. And it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Very short kick. And miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. So we reach halftime, and we've seemingly lost communication with Larry. Good news, though, both teams somehow already back on the field and ready for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll run it. This is Muhammad. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. On third down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Showed some strong running, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game.
And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will not get all the way. But he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off with great anticipation. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20, 10. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. He may try and run for this. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Boswell's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and it finally kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They're going to look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On play action, they'll throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the sackmaster, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Back now in Pittsburgh. To throw on second down is Newton. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And where did this one go out? Now they'll start with good field position, 45-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
On third down, it's Connor. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Vance McDonald, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And when they called that play, I'm not sure they expected it to go all the way to the end zone. Nice little reward, though.
Without a doubt, and sometimes I think the offensive line gets a little bit more inspiration when they know that guy's going to get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often. They want to reward him for all that good blocking he does as well.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it fourth down. They'll set up to throw. Now he's forced out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and calls a nice play for lost yardage. Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the fourth quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Cody Core, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. And again this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. 3 yards remaining here on second down. The give to the fullback on the dive. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Fourth quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
Second down following the run. Shift together here from the D-line. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the Steelers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Connor, they find some open field here. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. So it'll be first down here after the run.